Hello everybody, how goes your Wednesdays? It's me, your residential derplander Linkus, and first off, apologies for missing yesterday. I just got caught up in doing a bunch of stuff around the house and just kind of lost track of time, and next thing I know it's dark outside, so whoops. So sorry about that. But today we start Shadowbringers New Game Plus Chapter 3, I believe. So it's 5.1, 2, 3, then 4, then 5. Every other storyline, like I still need to do like Void Arc story, then Evilise, and I just brain farted. Like stuff like Four Lords, stuff like Eden stuff for Shadowbringers. We'll hold that off until I complete 5.55 and get completely done with all of MSQ. It'll be a little bit like timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly, but I'm pretty sure we could suspend disbelief for that. I do know I probably shouldn't have ate about 10 pounds of food before I started streaming. That was a mistake. Anyways, let's get to it, shall we? That's probably going to happen a lot, so apologies in advance. Me flipping my mic up and down. Sorry. Whoops, that's my friends list. Shadowbringers Part 3. Deep within the city of Amarat, the Asian Emmet Silk is at last brought low. You return to the Crystarium victorious, the people celebrating beneath a blessedly clear sky. Though your comrades are not yet able to return to the source, they bid you cross the rift and relay the word of your success to Tataru and the others. Let us begin. I'll do a quick check. I don't remember this patch being that big. It's bigger than I thought it was, quest-wise anyway. Alright. Might be able to do one a stream, maybe. I guess gods, it's good to see you. I hope your being here means you've had your fill of rest. Kinda had yesterday off, but I could use a little more. To be honest, I probably not the best idea to stream on a full belly, but yeah, we'll make do. You're too selfless, that's your problem. But you'll be no good to anyone if you don't take a break every once in a while. Anyway, not much has happened since your last visit. I had planned for you to meet that helper I told you about, but he refuses to answer his link pill. I do hope he's alright. We've been exchanging messages with the Aeosian Alliance throughout, though. They say the fighting has finally stopped at the Gimlet Dock, and that the Empire is showing no signs of movement. which means we might actually have a moment to ourselves for a change. Seeing as you're back, maybe you could tell me more about your time in the First. Great! Oh, and if you don't mind, I'd like to ask Flamine to join us. She'll want to know what happened to Minfilia, and I think it's best she hears it from you. We'll meet you on the terrace at the House of Splendors. Probably not gonna like what we have to say. Considering Minfilia is basically gone. Can't really say dead, but can definitely say gone. Oh, a small mouth. I guess. My head has been too long. Tara did mention that I would be joining you, did she not? And you want to know about Minfilia. Thank you. Words cannot well express how I have longed to know more of the First. The world Minfilia has sacrificed so much to save. But come, rest your feet. The tower should be arriving shortly. So Minfilia chose to pass on her gifts to the next oracle. This girl whose Thancred named Reem? To have such a burden thrust upon her as a child, only to embrace it when given a choice. In that respect, they are quite alike. It would seem her legacy is indeed in capable hands. Linkus, when I ask a favor of you when next you return to the First, tell Reen what I cannot. To tell her, thank you. I can do that. And I would offer thanks to you as well, for staying with her to the end. Begging your pardon, can I have a word? Ah, it's real. Real? I hope you're here to tell me you've received word from my helper. I wish. Nay, I've not had a peep out of him. And it's been a good long while now. Too bloody long. On account of which, I'm going to sneak over the border and see if I can't get a signal for him from close up. But what if they catch you? There must be another way. Well, any of this we had Thancred to do it. Besides, I shouldn't have no trouble picking me way through Gimlet now that the fighting died down. Gods know there's enough shadows to hide in. And beats waiting around here twiddling me thumbs. Anyway, I just thought I'd let you know. Nah, I'd best be. Ah, I nearly forgot. Crowd's at the stones, which she wants a load. Something to do with the patients. She's getting ready to examine them again when I left. We best head back then. I'm sure it's important. Whew. Probably a status update on their bodies, their aether. Well, we pop sprint. Oops. It seems he's still examining them. Oh, I do hope it's nothing bad.
You're here. Good.
So, how are they?
Still locked in slumber, but otherwise in good physical health. For the present, at least.
For the present? Oh no, is something wrong with them?
I'm afraid there may be. I summoned you after detecting faint signs of instability in Thancred's corporeal ether. But subsequent examination suggested all 5 might be affected. And when I examined them just now, my fears were confirmed. Tellingly, the degree of instability varies between them. Thancred exhibits the most notable signs, followed by Y'shtola and Urianger. The twins' ether, meanwhile, remains relatively stable, but there is a change there too if one knows to look for it.
Hold on. Isn't that the order they were called away in?
Indeed. Which leads me to believe the instability will only increase with time. Though I can but speculate, I fear this may be a symptom of a weakening link between body and soul.
By the gods! What happens if the link is broken?
I cannot say for certain. This is all unknown territory to us. Yet whatever happens, it cannot be good. Mercifully, the instability is still only slight. And you may rest assured Master Matoya and I will do everything in our power to keep it from worsening. Be that as it may, it is imperative that you find a way to restore our friends' souls to their bodies.
No rest for the righteous, huh?
I realize you've only just returned from saving 2 worlds, but time is not on our side.
But where's he even supposed to start? We had the greatest minds in the realm hunting high and low for an answer, and they ran out of places to look.
So we look on the other side.
You stated in your report that the Exarch had originally intended to reverse the summoning process by means of his own death, correct? Raha always was a reckless young fool, ready to die for the first righteous cause that came along. His plan might well have worked, but I for one am glad he never had the opportunity to see it through. Even if it does mean our friends must remain stranded a while longer. There is another way, I am sure of it. And the key lies with him, with the Exarch. Pray return to the First and apprise him and the others of the situation. We, meanwhile, will do what we can from here. And, if the fates are kind, we will have good news to share upon your return.
Back to the First. Again, apologies for constantly flipping a mic up and down. Probably going to happen a good bit. But like I said, if we can't find an answer on the source, how about we go over here and try to find an answer? What have we got to lose? Ah, Lycus, you are returned. I hope your time at the source was suitably restful. But of course it wasn't. Go on. The link is getting weaker, but they don't know how to reverse it, so maybe you know. The corporeal ether shows signs of instability. By the gods, Possibility never even occurred to me. If you have returned in the hope that my research has yielded a solution, I fear you will be sorely disappointed. 'Tis but a mercy we have the likes of Mistress Cryo and Master Latoya to keep our friends' bodies safe while we wrestle with the problem. But they cannot forestall the separation of body and soul indefinitely. Come, the others must be told.
Pray excuse my late arrival.
Will Thancred and Reen not be joining us?
Nay, milady. With apologies to all, they beg leave to pursue their investigation of the empty to its conclusion. Should matters here demand their presence, however, they did assure me that they would make themselves available.
Yes, of course. Then let us proceed. I think it best that you begin by providing a summary of Mistress Kryle's findings.
Well, you see, the link between body and soul is weakening by the order in which you guys came here. So in short, time is running out, and if the link separates, we don't know what the hell will happen.
I suppose it was only to be expected that some change would occur.
Yet our souls seem unaffected, to my eye at least. How long they will remain so is another question. Kryle is right. It is imperative we find a way to return to the source.
Perhaps an explanation of the method by which I brought you here will yield some inspiration. Ere I begin, it must be noted that I am by no means a gifted mage. In order to employ powerful magics, I must rely upon the Crystal Tower and its boundless reservoirs of energy. The magic that summoned you was no exception. 'Tis a singular spell, adapted through painstaking effort from the technique that transported me to the first. To use an analogy, it works by cutting a hole in the fabric of reality. A hole tailored to the object of summoning, through which it and it alone may pass unscathed. Though I succeeded in creating said hole, I failed to latch onto my intended target. Instead of you, the spell found those close to you, and ended up summoning them in their incomplete state. I would not soon throw my life away, not after the lengths you and yours went to save it. And so long as I breathe, I will spare no effort to see you safely home. But should all else fail, and your lives be at stake, there remains one sure method.
Ow! What was that for?
How can you even entertain such thoughts? You owe your life to the Warrior of Light, and you don't get to die unless he says so.
What?
Your followers await your divine judgment.
What did you just...
What?
If the two of you have finished, perhaps we could return to our discussion? Rather than dwelling upon the multiple failed attempts at transference, I think it would behoove us to focus on the solitary success. I would draw your attention to the fact that our friend can travel between worlds possessed not only of his body and soul, but his personal effects besides. This is no different from the teleportation magics to which we are all accustomed. Magics that allow for the transportation of those inanimate objects one considers to be an extension of oneself.
Are you suggesting that simply by considering us his possessions, he could carry our souls back to the source upon his person?
Well, it would be nice if things were that simple for a change. But vague notions of ownership seem a rather tenuous thing to stake our lives on. So much as a moment of doubt on his part and we'd be left floating in the rift.
Milady hath the right of it. The requisite fixity of belief would be too much to ask even of our friend. Yet, were we to immure our souls within an object in his possession, mayhap then our safe passage could be assured. White auricite would, I believe, serve as a suitable vessel for this purpose. It was conceived to imprison the massy soul of an Ascian, and should house one of ours with relative ease. We would need only to ensure our souls' safe preservation inside the stone, and identify a means by which they might be transferred back unto our vacant bodies.
Soul preservation and transference. I believe I know of someone who may be able to assist us. On the far shore of the source, there stands a great palace built by the elves. It was forsaken in the wake of the flood, but a certain Numo chose to make their home there soon after. Though they have long lived as a recluse, they once occupied a place of honor in Verbert's royal court, and it is said that none in all of Norvrant is more knowledgeable than they on matters of the soul.
Well, I've no objection to seeking a helping hand, but if they've gone to such lengths to hide themselves away from the world, what makes you think they'd be willing to lend us one?
A worthy question. Years ago, I myself tried and failed to solicit their cooperation in the battle against the Sin Eaters. No sooner had I begun to make my plea than they unleashed a swarm of their familiars upon me. Unlike me, however, you have curried favor with the Faefolk. By that merit alone, I am hopeful that they would grant you an audience. They may still be inclined to turn you away, of course, but if their knowledge might feasibly facilitate your return home, we have to try.
Better than the nothing we have right now. I wouldn't say we have nothing. We have an idea. We just need to put that idea to paper and then the proof. Also, hi, Y'shtola. 'Tis said the kingdom of Verbert was once home to the realm's greatest knights and magics both. To command a place at the royal court, the new Mo whom we seek must needs have been a mage among mages. A mage of surpassing skill, living a life of seclusion. Now where have I heard that before? One can only hope they are more receptive to unsolicited visitations. The new moose seem such a welcoming folk in Omeg. What do you suppose could have driven this one to a life of seclusion? I'm sick and tired of the Exarch's attempt at selfless sacrifice. If he suggests dying one more time, I swear I'm going to grant him his wish. Malice. The Grand Cosmos, that is, the palace we seek, stands on the opposite shore of the source. I will arrange for a boat to carry us there. Whilst thou journeyest thither, I think it best that I devote mine energies to the creation of white auricite. By thy leave, of course. The process requireth no small amount of time, and should the Numo consent to lend us their aid, we will have need of a suitable vessel ere long. Agreed. Then I would ask the rest of you to meet me in Sullen. And do be prepared for a warm reception. The only question I would have is, doesn't White Aura's site specifically say it can't hold ether for very long? But I guess if it's just to put your soul in, go through the portal, beat feet back to Mordona, and in theory it should last long enough. It's not going to be a permanent home for a soul. It's just going to be until we get you back. Who the hell names a place Weed? Weed Brick. Simple names, I guess. Gets the point across. Alphino's still afraid of swimming. As I told you before, I had scarcely set foot on the palace grounds when I was set upon by our host familiars, and I expect our reception today be no different, which is why I propose we march through the main gate, weapons drawn. I'm sorry, but are we not here to petition for existence? Can't honestly think barging in looking for a fight is going to persuade them. Actually, I believe the Exarch may have the right of it. They have no doubt poured a great deal of time and energy into their creations. Were I them, I should be most interested in meeting with those who could overcome my defenses. As would any true seeker of knowledge. There is little we can say or do to convince them to help us if we know nothing of the character, nor less why they chose to hide themselves from the world. But if we can seize their interest, mayhap we can earn ourselves an audience. Sounds good. Weapons drawn it is, then. I must say, Exarch, you certainly seem to be enjoying all of this. Do I? Well, I will not deny that I enjoy the thought of fighting alongside you all rather than pacing about inside the Crystal Tower. You both seem to be in rather high spirits. If you ask me, not that I'm surprised, our moods invariably improve when Minkus is around. What exactly are you implying? He averted a calamity, and the light which seemed destined to consume him has been extinguished. It is only natural that we be pleased to see him. Fanboys. Yes, well, you will have plenty of time to celebrate his good health after we've finished here. Of course. Then let us proceed to the palace. So before I do the thing, I need to actually read it. Not Pagglethon, you're later, probably next week. Long ago, on the far shore of the source, a great palace was built by the elves, the Grand Cosmos, an edifice of such magnitude it was said to inspire envy in both the heavens for which it was named and the flowers that pervade its boundless gardens. As with so many wonders of the world that once was, its radiance quickly faded in the wake of the flood, its halls falling silent, the throne sitting empty. That is, until the palace was given new purpose, when a mage claimed it as their sanctuary, their only company being solace, solitude, and a legion of familiars barring interest to any foolish enough to seek an audience.
Very well.
No, Y'shtola, you sit out. Oh, whoops. I forgot. I need cutscenes turned on. Alright, let's try this again.
Very well.
Hello. Should you value your lives, you will quit this place at once. Now, be gone with you. Well, I'd say we're off to a fine start. From ageless sleep I bid thee rise. Oops. Agree. Bring unto them a swift demise. Look how they make a mess of my floors. Swick and flish, my lovelies. Swick, swish and flick. And unexpected respite from battle. I call forth blades to run them through! No, you burn Alice. I kind of hope that within Walker that Trust either do slightly more damage or they learn how to AoE. Or they figure a way to program them that once they get out of the AoE, they're safe, continue DPSing or healing or whatever it is they're doing. Brave Knights of Vel, tried and true. If you insist on making a mess of my place, then you leave me no choice. Oh dear, they don't seem inclined to talk. Well, it was your idea to brandish blades at the door. She's not wrong.
If I must.
Protect me!
I'm going this way. Okay, I can't go all the way. Ah, damn it. Greeted too hard. Ah, it's sufferable, a lot of you. I will spare you, but only this once. Now leave me be. Doubt that will be quite so affable when next we meet. Maybe another chance to pique the curiosity then. Still you press onward? How foolish. It has to be a trap. It's always a trap. With wings of dreams, I bar thy path. I just wondered what these were. Now I know. The sooner they die, the better.
If I must.
That's what I'm talking about. Pop your triple cast on it, kill it. I conjure forth the god's wrath. Hold them fast with thorn and vine. I also kind of hope Dark Knights get another offensive for Endwalker. Like, get rid of this and replace it with another, like, actual damage reduction. When it comes to actual damage reduction, they only have Rampart, Shadow Wall, and Reprisal, outside of TBN. Actually, I wouldn't mind seeing TBN scale to skill speed. Like maybe make it 20% shield, but it scales with skill speed. I don't know if that'd make it too broken though. Lieutenant Sith, these cretins are solely the sanctuary of your garden. They must be dealt with. Is there no end to these creatures? They think a few plants could slow us down. They're sorely mistaken. Come in, little ones. Let me show you the delights of my garden. Time has come to play, my children. Hearken to my melody.
Time has come.
The only hard part is knowing which one they're going to get. Grow, my children, grow! Show them the glory of your splendor!
Time has come.
You underestimate me.
I shall bloom again. Why are you like this? Alphino said, if we dried these leaves, perhaps we can use them for tea. And then Alice goes, why are you like this? The garden is ruined! Ruined! Mark my words, you will pay for this. I summon thee from flesh of stone. He's a Durgan. Pressure on that. Definitely shouldn't have popped that. With wings of dreams to grind their bones.
If I must.
Why do you persist? Why will you not leave me be? Ghost? Oh, come now, Alphino, don't be silly. Knights immortal, heed my call. Seize the intruders who besmirch my thy home. Oi, over here. And by King's judgment, see them fall. I see you cannot be dissuaded from your misguided path. Pity. Ah! Alphina, behind you! Very funny. I know they're not ghosts. At least I hope not. Having fun even in the middle of battle. You have sullied these halls long enough. Come, Lugus, our guests yet want for company. Looks like they're finally taking us seriously. Go, Lucas, turn them to ash. I care not how.
I will not yield! Back to the fight! If I must.
Oh, it's an AoE. Whoops.
If I must. If I must.
I always get foiled. Well, you stole. Nice of you to show up. Now, will you listen to us? Since we effectively have you cornered.
That was my fiercest familiar. Oh, impressive.
Backlook, 'tis good to see you again after all these years. And judging by your vigorous greeting, I dare say the feeling is mutual. To be sure, a simple shake of the hand would have sufficed by way of welcome, but I shan't complain. But you must be wondering as to the purpose of our visit. We come to beg your assistance in a most urgent matter.
Shake? Beg?
Our comrades' very souls are in danger. If we are to save them, we will need the benefit of your unsurpassed knowledge on the matter. Please, will you not sit and hear our plea?
Oh, how dare you! How dare you speak thus in my presence! It was to escape such words of temptation that I hid myself from the world of men. You are sinners, one and all, and I swore never again to have any part in your affairs.
I can only imagine what terrible events forced you into a life of seclusion. But I know that the Numo are a good and noble folk. It is not in your nature to turn a blind eye to the plight of those around you. And in treating with us, I am certain whatever mistrust you feel for man will begin to heal.
You bullied him.
If you will not be satisfied, I suppose I could listen. After all, there's no harm in just... No, I mustn't. Not again. That damn court mage seemed to have the best of intentions too, and countless innocents died for my naivety.
Right, he was in the,
You know not what you ask of me. What horrors my knowledge has wrought.
Alright, he was in, the Elmeg Castle in the flashback with, oh, what the hell was his name? The Paladin. Brandon. You mean the magical plague of Verbert?
You know of the plague? Then you know how dangerous Soulcraft can be. Instead of saving your friends, you risk damning them. Are you sure you're willing to take that chance?
We are.
No. No. Oh, very well. I will hear your petition, but that is all. And I expect fitting payment for my troubles.
Commensurate with your contribution to our cause. No more and no less, I promise you. With that settled, might I impose upon you to join us at the Crystarium? I'm afraid the nature of my friend's predicament calls for absolute secrecy.
Alright then. There you are. The others have gone ahead to the Crystal Tower with Big Lug. For the record, I truly wish we hadn't had to resort to using such words when treating with them. I have ever sought to convince, not compel, yet I cannot deny that a part of me is glad Urianger shared this knowledge of the new Mu with us. Had he not, Big Lug wouldn't be here. Speaking of whom, we should hurry. To keep our guests waiting would only add insult to injury. We mustn't dally here any longer, Linkus. If Big Lug is to hear the truth of our travails in the first, you of all people should be present. I think it's a good place to take the first break of the day. Stand out here in the pouring down rain. So I'm gonna get up, stretch my legs, probably do a bit of a walkabout to get rid of the bloatedness. So I implore all of you out there to do the same, and I will be right back, folks. Alright, but we back. Let me try that again. Okay, folks, we are back. Apparently I forgot how to speak English during my extended break. I do feel slightly better. Only slightly better, though. Apologies for the lowish energy. I really shouldn't have eaten what I ate. Like, literally minutes before stream. I'm gonna be regretting what I ate for most of the day. Hey, let me in, please. Imagine explaining the fact that I am a pro streamer and get my BRB text up. And also explaining to Big Lug here the entirety of the situation.
I'm sorry. You mean to tell me not only that the return of night was your doing, but that you hail from another world as well?
Everything we told you, of the source, the shards, the 7 umbral calamities, all of it is true. I realize how fantastical it sounds, and I would not blame you for doubting our testimony. But given your expertise, you must surely have noted the peculiar nature of their souls.
Any other time and I would have dismissed your stories as balderdash and flummery. But upon closer inspection, 'tis plain their souls are far denser than is normal, and that they do not possess true bodies.
I have a thought, but I'll wait until after guessing.
Save you. Your body is your own. And your soul is the densest of them all.
You know what, I'll probably ask it now because I'll forget. Is everybody on the source's soul denser because they're on the source and not on a shard? And we are obviously, what, 8 times rejoined now?
As I said before, were it not for their heroism, the skies over Norvrant would still be awash with light, the realm yet at the mercy of 4-3 and the Sin Eaters. After all they have done for our home, seeing them safely back to their own, it seems the very least we can do.
Your tale is intriguing. Yes, very intriguing indeed. Simply to hear it is fitting payment in itself. As for your friends, I can but agree. Their valorous deeds on behalf of Norvrant are deserving of recognition, of their own fitting payment.
You will help us then?
I will. I would see my knowledge put to good use for a change. I do have one condition, however. I am not the spry young Numo I once was. As such, I will require assistance in my fieldwork and testing.
It would be our pleasure. We'll be laboring for our own benefit after all.
Don't look at me, you're the ones that are going through this. Yeah, our soul's denser because we hail from the source instead of a shard, and then obviously we're rejoined +1, where I think, let's see, 7 calamities, so 7 times rejoined, and then we absorbed art, well, air quotes, absorbed Ardbert to become 8 times rejoined. Again, sorry for all the, like, flipping the mic up and down, etc. You have spun quite the tale, but tell me, have you given any thought as to how you might return to your world? I don't think I can get my voice that low. Oh, White Arsight, you say? An intriguing proposition, but one which fails to account for the present state of your souls. They have become highly charged, likely as a consequence of having maintained tangible forms for so long. In such an energetic, unstable state, there is no telling what may happen to their souls within the Arsight. They could very well become immutable to transference, never to be restored to their bodies. And would it be possible to force our souls into a state of dormancy prior to transference? In theory, yes, but the soul is not a candle to be snuffed out and relit on a whim. Well, that sounds ominous. What exactly would rendering our souls dormant entail? In order to maintain a corporeal form, your souls constantly draw ether from your surroundings. This process must be halted, and the resulting surfeit of ether removed. Your minds would ultimately be separated from these foul bodies of yours, rendering you incapable of interacting with the world around you. A cruel fate under normal circumstances, but one which will be rectified upon your return home. Leaving lifeless husks, like those poor souls at the end of Jenny's head, corrupted by the Sin Eaters, the aether made stagnant by the light. Corrupted? Stagnant? Might I see these unfortunate individuals? Why? Do you think you might be able to help them? I might, or I might not, but I shan't know for sure until I have seen their condition firsthand. then I would be glad to take you to them, on the understanding that you won't do anything which might increase the suffering. It was my faith in man I lost, not my compassion. I see no need for all of us to accompany you. While you escort our guests to the inn, I will assist Ariange in creating the requisite oversight. I believe my talents would be better applied to that endeavor as well. Might I leave the three of you to exacerbate luck as necessary? Let us make for Amarang, then. Back to the inn. I just realized almost every zone has 3 aetherites. Three aetherites, 3 technically 4, 2 technically 3, 3, 2, and 2. Right. So this is how Rick, is it? Yes, his etheric balance leads perilously towards the light, towards stasis. What do you suppose will happen to him? Not too bright, are you, boy? The same as all poor souls corrupted by the light. He will become a sin-eater. You don't know that. We've defeated the wardens and banished the light from the night sky. Howard was completely unresponsive before, but now... Then perhaps there is yet hope. Well, if I may, there is a treatment I wish to administer to the patients. What sort of treatment? In the course of my studies of the soul, I once created a tonic which could temporarily stimulate the aether in one's body. After some refinement, it came to be used by the Knights of Verbert. Then for far darker purposes. Lest it fall into the wrong hands, I swore never again to make it. For their sakes, I will break that oath. It is not like to reverse the stagnation, mind you, but it should offer some measure of relief. Todd stares blankly at you. It would seem the tonic has had no effect. What is this warmth I feel in my chest? It's a positive reaction. I feel warm, and my legs, they don't feel as heavy. 2 out of 3. Not terrible. 66% success rate. Now then, have you noticed any change in the patients? 2 of them said that they felt warmth in their chests and felt lighter. 1 didn't care. A notable rise of body temperature and increased motor function in most of the patients at least. The more severely afflicted showed no response. Well, as I feared then. 'Tis true that with the restoration of night, the corrupting influence of light will no longer grow, and yes, the bodies will naturally return to equilibrium given time. But this holds true only for their corporeal ether. Their incorporeal ether, that of the soul, is not so easily mended. Which is why those in the later stages of corruption, like Howick, appear unaffected by a tonic. Precisely. The boy's soul is too far gone, his mind held together by the finest of threads. There is a chance he may one day recover, of course, but it could take years, decades even. By the gods, he could wake to find himself an old man. A fine reward for his persistence, the opportunity to mourn the life he never had a chance to live. No, there must be something we can do. Look, I realize this is not why we petitioned your aid, but do you think it's possible we could find a way to hasten their recovery? Maybe. Nor do I think it impossible that in treating them, we might learn something of relevance to your own predicament. Oh? Did they just say what I think they said? Might that really be a way to help Howard and the others, and help ourselves in the process? Oops. Corporeal and incorporeal ether. I confess I have never had cause to make the distinction. I suspect the Crystal Exarch has told you of my past. I was once a mage of the Royal Court of Verbit, and that soulcraft was my field of study. The tonic you administered to the patients here is one of the fruits of my labors. I hope to do great things for the kingdom. But in the end, my knowledge brought only suffering, a plague the like of which none had ever seen. In the hands of unscrupulous men, what would have been my greatest triumph instead became my greatest shame. Well, at least the Warriors of Light brought those responsible to justice. Aye, that they did. I shudder to think what might have happened had they not. But let us return to the task at hand, finding a means by which we might revitalize these people's incorporeal ether. Do you think it can be done? Where the skies were still ablaze with primordial light, I would call it an exercise in futility. But now we may have a chance. The method I have in mind will entail the conjuring of a familiar. They are able to amplify the energies poured into them, making them the perfect conduit for the ether revitalizing magics we will ultimately employ. If you're about to launch into a lengthy explanation of the metaphysics of your plan, don't bother. I'd rather get on with doing whatever it is that needs to be done, if it's all the same to you. Whatever reagents must be procured or spells invoked, I'll do it. Alizé is a filthy cutscene skipper. I admire your spirit. Very well. Your first task will be to gather the necessary materials. The purest of waters and the finest of clays, as well as a fey lantern brimming with pixie magic. If you're convinced the resulting familiar could help the patients, fine. Alphino, the water and clay will be simple enough, but I think you know what we'll have to do to get the lantern. You don't mean... The pixies took quite a liking to us before. If we humor them with our company, I'm sure they'll be willing to help us. Fine. We'll pay a visit to Ilmeg, though I never thought you would be the one to suggest going back there. I'm impressed you've been there at all, let alone befriended the Fey folk. Oh, while you're at it, seek out the Numo of Platini. They will be able to supply you with water suitable for our needs. Right, let's get this over with, shall we? There still remains the matter of the clay. Might I prevail upon you to find it? Clay, huh? Clay from Amarang would likely be best. Know you of anyone who might be able to assist us? Probably the miners at Twine. Ah, yes. They will be able to point you in the right direction, I am sure. While you and the twins are occupied, I will see if there is aught else I can learn of the stagnation which afflicts the people here. If we need to find some damn good clay, miners would probably be the best bet. And the whole Eden thing might do. I don't know. Linkus, well, what a coincidence. You come at a good time. We've just this moment finished repairing the Talos and Trolley you lot took to Nabatharang. Trolley was no trouble, but the Talos would have been another matter had we not have a visit from Master Chai. He offered us a share of the leftover building materials from Daedalus Stoneworks, as well as a few trade secrets to help us along. Clever man, that Chai knows. He seemed pretty keen on the ideas I had for putting the giant Talos to work. Like a giant trolley! Magnus still refuses to see all the good we could do with it. You're entitled to your dreams, Jerk, but that doesn't mean you can go harassing our guests with them. Master Chai was just being polite. Something tells me Linkus here didn't come all this way to talk about trolleys. What is it you need, friend? Looking for some damn good clay. And I see. And this familiar requires clay from Amarang. Well, look no further. If anyone can find you some quality clay, it's us. Saying that isn't exactly a commodity nowadays. There must be some lurking somewhere or other, waiting to be dug up. If I'm not mistaken, there was a time when they used to take clay from Mount Biron mines to make adobe bricks. The place is swarming with coyotes now, but if you're after the good stuff, you could do worse than look that. I'm 4 levels higher than you. Fuck off. you're gonna egg her too. I'll just kill you now and be done with it. Of course. Bad dog. Was the edge glitching? Oh, that's why. I need to get closer to it to not glitch out as much. Oh no, or it can still keep glitching until you get like right up on it. The twins have returned in one piece at that. I was convinced the pixies would turn at least one of them into a garden ornament, but no. You have the clay, I take it. Probably should have talked to him before I do this. That had better be the only thing we need from the pixies. If I have to endure one more prank, so help me God. Please, Alizé, do it. Murder the Fae. The pixies were constantly confusing me with Alizé. In jest, I assume. I mean, it's not as if we look that much alike. We, don't look that much alike, do we? That's why she's pissed. Oh, wonderful. We need but combine the clay and the water, then heat the mixture with the Fey Lantern. After that, it will be a simple matter of settling upon a suitable form and performing the necessary incantation. Hey Glug, I have a question. In the event that we had need of the spell and you weren't around, would it be possible for another to perform the incantation? And assuming they possess the requisite skill, yes. How can the others have suffered so much, and I swore to do everything in my power to save them. If there is a chance the spell could do that, I would be the one to invoke it. Mayhap you should be the one to do so. A deep understanding of the subject's physical state, combined with a strong desire to help them, can drastically increase the magic's effect. And you are plainly more familiar with these people than I. I dare say there are few in all of Northrend more dedicated to finding a cure. Is that not so, Linkus? Yeah, she's probably the best woman for the job. I'll give it my all. For Hawick, for Tesleen. We have all of our mind on the matter. Alizé should be the one that conjured the familiar.
Let us begin. I trust you've prepared the clay? Very good. Now, I would have you sculpt for me a porksy. Plump, with floppy ears and a short curly tail.
A porksy. I think I know what you mean. There we are. How's that?
It's big.
Well, it is certainly creative. There's no denying that.
Yes, I'm no artist. Very funny.
And say, please don't kill him. Yet.
Pay him no mind, child. Though it may look like a grotesque parody of reality, it is what the invoker believes that matters.
You're not helping.
But I speak the truth. If successful, this incantation will turn imagination into reality. Which is why the only thing of import is what you believe this figure embodies. You must focus. Hold the Porksy's image steady in your mind's eye. Now then, as I taught you, relax and allow your energies to flow.
With flesh of clay I bid thee rise, on wings of dreams to touch the skies. What once was idle fantasy, I call forth to reality.
You made a porksy. Congrats.
Not bad for a first attempt. Now, let us see what can be done for young Halric. Through the operation of the magics you invoked to animate this familiar, it is now replete with the energies required to stir the boy's soul. You need but give it a name, and it will do as your heart desires.
A name. All right, I've decided. Now. Go, Angelo!
Mother, I...
Teslene's last words. Before she turned. This girl's resolve is quite impressive. One might almost think she drew strength from another. By the 12, though it was only for a moment, he spoke. There may yet be hope for these people. How is he, Beglug? Did it work? I believe it did. You and your fledgling familiar have done well. If my eyes do not deceive, a hint of color has returned to his soul. Gods, I would jump for joy if it weren't so exhausted. We're so close now, Howrick. As you are even now in the process of discovering, this magic asks much of the Invoker. What you may not have realized is that the same is also true of the subject. As such, we must proceed with caution. However, with further treatment, I have the utmost confidence the boy will make a full recovery. Observing the reanimation of his stagnant soul has been most enlightening. I will need time to put my theories to the proof, but I believe I can fashion a spell to produce the opposite effect. That is, to induce stagnation, thus enabling our safe transport back to the source via our site. A thought occurred to me about this treatment. Beglug said when the soul is rendered dormant, the mind is separated from the body, that a person becomes incapable of interacting with the world around them. Does that not sound a lot like some of the tempered back in the source? Not really. It is the fate of most tempered to become slaves to primals, save in a handful of cases. Or am I missing something? If I can master this technique, the art of revitalizing the soul, I know of at least one in the source who could desperately use such treatment. You really think it could work? Why shouldn't it? Gabu's condition is virtually identical to Halrick's, is it not? The only difference being that his soul was suffused with earth-aspected ether instead of light. It follows that if his soul is subject to a similar kind of stagnation, there may be a chance we can save him. Forgive me, but who is the Gabu fellow of whom you speak? He's a kobold back in home that kinda got tempered by Titan. I see. His condition does sound similar, yet there is much more about the soul that remains unknown even to me. I say this not to discourage you, you understand, but to remind you that this is delicate work we do here. Work requiring patience. Of course! And as long as there is hope for the patients here, I will devote whatever time is needed to see this through. But I refuse to spend that time in idleness. If it's all the same to you, I'd like to stay here with Angelo and continue with their treatment. The two of you should return to the Crystarium with Beglug and see if you can't make some headway with their newly posited theories. I would tell you the rest first, but I see you not to be convinced. The fire of youth. Let us return to the Crystarium, then. Finally, I found you. Who? Kaishia, what are you doing all the way out here? Oh, there's trouble back in Yomor. Lady Chai's beside herself, sighing, pacing, the whole lot. Near enough begged me to go and find you. Sighing and pacing, you say? It must be urgent. I take it I will be returning to the Crystarium alone. Go on then. It's not as if I have anything for you to do. Thank you, Big Lug. Sorry for bothering you and all that, but she says the future is almost at stake. The future of Yomos is at stake, is it? Well, do for them what you can, but keep an eye on Alphaner, would you? See to it he doesn't involve himself more than is necessary. Whatever could be so urgent for Lady Chai to summon us thus? Lady Chai's up in the parlor. Best not keep her waiting, eh? Suddenly, quartet. Well, not here seems out of the ordinary, but I do not see Lady Chai anywhere. Probably pacing around outside again, staring off into the distance and all that. Sighing. Strange. See if we can find her and discover the source of her distress. Excuse me, Mrs. Chai. You alright?
Oh, thank heavens you're here.
Lady Chai, whatever is the matter?
I knew not where else to turn. Oh, this is all too much for my poor heart to bear alone.
Alone? What of Master Chai?
That is the very reason I summoned you. He's gone.
Gone?
What? What happened?
It all began after the events at Mount Gulg. With Lord Vorthry out of the way, we all agreed that a new leader must be chosen.
And so you held an election?
Yes, well, sort of. Not a single person volunteered to stand, you see. After a lifetime of leisure, we free citizens have grown somewhat indolent. Readapting to the harsh realities of life is trying enough, but to take charge of a broken city as well, no one wanted such responsibility. Nevertheless, Yulmore could not well do without a leader, and so we decided that anyone and everyone should be considered a candidate. And after we cast our ballots and tallied the votes, the mayorship fell upon my dear husband.
Well, given the manner in which he orchestrated the construction of the giant Talos, none could deny his leadership qualities.
But even before then, he had proven himself at Daedalus Stoneworks, don't forget. He is more than qualified for the role. The perfect choice. Indeed. I told him as much when his victory was first announced. But perhaps I was too forceful in my attempt to encourage him. For shortly after that, he vanished without a word.
He wouldn't have bolted, would he?
You believe he was so daunted by the burden of leadership that he felt compelled to flee? Please, Lady Chai, dry your eyes. Your husband does not strike me as the sort of man who would abandon his duty, much less his beloved wife. There has to be some other reason for his absence.
You truly think so? What about you? What do you think has become of my husband?
I don't know, but I don't think he fled.
And there you have it, Lady Chai. You needn't worry. Master Chai loves you more than all the world, and he will return. Wherever he may have gone, rest assured we will find him.
Thank you, my dear boy. You have set my mind at ease. I will trust in my husband and await his return.
No, your more's nothing like I thought it'd be, but somehow I can't picture going anywhere else. The Chai's a part of it, I suppose. They've been good to me. I only wish there was something more I could do to help them. It makes no sense for Master Chai to have left without a word, but even if he had, he would not have done so unobserved. Someone here would have seen something, I am sure of it. We should split up and inquire as to where anyone saw him leave, or failing that, if they have any idea where he might have gone. I will meet you at the Glory Gate to compare notes later on. One day that'll work. No, actually in there. Master Chai? Yes, I spoke with him recently. I recall he was in a rather dour mood. Concerned about Yelmore's neglect of industry, you see. With Lord Valthyry's apparently inexhaustible stores of meal, and no great need for money, it's little wonder our businesses were all but forgotten under his rule. I assured Master Chai the Boutique of Splendors will do all it can to contribute to the revival of trade here in Yelmore, which seemed to satisfy him. He took his leave soon after. Where to? Southeast Derelicts. Looking for Master Chai, are you? Is something amiss? Last I saw him, he seemed ready to collapse from exhaustion. I insisted he rest and catch his breath, and we talked for a while, on his concerns over the city's defenses, amongst other things. He made more than a few valid points. Many of our men are still recovering after our confrontation with Lord Valthyry, and finding General Ranjit in a keep in the middle of the plaza shook us all to the core. The man commanded no small amount of loyalty. Some of our longest-serving soldiers seemed lost without him. Indeed, a number of them left. Not that we blame you, of course. Without you and yours, we would still be blind to the error of our ways. Anyways, funding permitting, I propose replenishing our ranks with volunteers from the derelicts in Gate Town. We have a duty to protect not only Yulmore, you see, but the surrounding regions of Calusia as well, and I for one will welcome any man or woman willing to take up arms for that cause. Indeed, I told him as much, and he seemed relieved to hear it. It was on that note that we parted ways. We headed outside, as I recall. Probably could just use the Aether right, but eh. I recall a man fitting that description. Asked to speak with the poor buggers lately. Come from right. So he wanted to know the state of things bound to derelicts. You can be sure he gave him an earful. Lack of food, medicine, clothing, plenty to tell. We're hunting low for whatever we could scavenge. It's barely enough to fill our bellies. Folk here don't just want to survive, they want to thrive. When he heard that, he started mumbling to himself. Something about finding us work, I think. Fair play to him, though. Not content with having his ear chewed out about the derelicts, he asked about the other settlements and all. After that, I can't really say. Looked like he was headed for Gate Town when last I saw him. So he didn't flee. He took up the mantle and decided to get a grasp of the state of affairs that he just inherited. Which, kinda bleak. Hey, look, I've gone nowhere myself. It sounds like Alphino might have. Ah, there you are. How did you fare? Have you learned anything which might offer a clue as to Master Chai's whereabouts? Want to take stock of the situation he just inherited, it would seem. Interesting. Yep, apparently I'd paid a visit to the Queen Bee as well. They discussed the possibility of granting admission to customers from outside Yulmore, an idea to which the proprietor was surprisingly receptive. Sounds like he's got big plans for the place. Yulmore, I mean, not the bee. Perhaps. The question remains, where did he go after leaving the city? He left Yulmore? All we know for certain is that Master Chai is in great concern not only for Yulmore, but its surrounding settlements. It seems logical, then, that having consulted those within the city walls, he would wish to do the same to those without. Linkus, if you would go and make inquiries and write, I shall do likewise in Stilltide. Gate Town I leave to you, Kaishia. Fair enough. Where shall we meet when we've finished? Well, top rung would seem to me like his most likely destination. Let us reconvene here. With any luck, one of us will have stumbled upon him by then, but if not, we will be well situated to continue our search. Am I talking to this dude? Oh. Wow, I'm blind. Excuse me, sir, you seen Master, one... Well, what the hell was his first name? What do you get? I forget his first name. Dude wearing a pink shirt, or a cat boy wearing a pink shirt, pink hair. No, name doesn't ring any bells. Well, there was a rather dapper-looking Mistle gentleman here not long ago. Talk about relations between Wright and Yulmore, or rather the lack of them. You lost a great many people. Their promises a meal and the chance of a lavish life among the free. And all three thought to take even more from us, conscripting the few able-bodied men we had left to guard his paradise. I didn't tell you what happened when the Sin Eaters came. Those things are hard to forgive. Walter's gone now. We're curious to see what will become of Gilmore in his absence. That's what I told your friend. Chinese, was it? And I'm sure the others said the same. Not that he wanted to hear, not what he wanted to hear, I suppose, because he left soon after, and that was that. There you are. Turned out Master Chai was over in Gate Town too. He spoke to a few of the residents apparently. He told me he'd never seen a posh bloke look so miserable. So he paid a visit to both Wright and Gate Town as well, did he? I see. Cashier and I glean much the same. He seems determined to salvage what goodwill might yet remain among the settlements of Calusia, the only likely place he has yet to go being Amity. Come, if we are quick, we may yet catch up with him. There you are, you bastard. Venkus, Alphino, Cashier, what are you doing here? Might ask you the same, Master Chai. We've been looking all over for you. Looking for me? Whatever for? Lady Chai has been nigh inconsolable in your absence. She claims you disappeared without so much as a word, and bade us return you to her side. What in blazes are you talking about? I left a letter for her in our chambers. Though I suppose she could have overlooked it. And when she gets an idea into her head, I can only apologize. No harm done, Master Chai. Since we are here, might I ask what compelled you to come all this way? We were told you had been elected mayor, and from what we have gathered from the nearby villages, you have been inquiring about the people's grievances. Is it safe to assume you mean to take office? Now, let's not jump to conclusions. I did seek to learn about the problems faced by the people of Calusia, that much is true, but I am no means sure if I am the man to solve them. Tackling our many challenges will require resources, and until I have secured them, it would not be right to assume the role as mayor. I see. And you believe said resources can be found here? Indeed. The people's grievances are many, but in the course of my inquiries, I have already met with several individuals willing to lend their aid in addressing them. However, there remains one individual crucial to my plans, a man whose counsel might yet make a mayor of me. With respect, such forethought is in itself proof of your suitability. The city needs you, Master Chai, and I am certain this man of whom you speak, whoever he may be, will reach the same conclusion. For what little it is worth, we will vouch for you should he require convincing. Whatever you need, you got us to rely on. I don't know what to say. You don't need to say anything. We've got your actions to speak for you. For as long as I can remember, all I wanted was to make it to Gilmore, but that dream's gone now, burst like a bubble. Boil, more like. Anyway, outside of respecting Master Alphino, I haven't had a clue what to do with myself. Spent most days in the daze. But you've been running up and down trying to find a way to fix this mess for everyone. And I reckon you could do it. You got this lot up Mount Gorg, didn't you? How hard can marrying be? I'm going to steer Gilmore to a better future, I know it. And I want to help. Properly help. Do something that makes a difference. I don't know what it is yet, but I will work it out along the way. If you let me come with you, that is. You gave me entirely too much credit, a lot of you. I can't deny it helps give me heart. Come then, let's press on together. Thank you, Master Chai. We mustn't get ahead of ourselves. No one needs more than a man with good intentions, which is why I am here, to find one with the experience needed to see the city thrive. Who is this man exactly? Are you certain he's here in Amity? Windrin is his name, and yes, he is, or was. Scarcely begun to explain myself when he decided his time was better spent elsewhere. He served as chief advisor to Valtry's father when he was in office. If Ranji was the mayor's right hand, one might say Rendon was his left, and between them they kept Yolmore on the road to prosperity. The city needs more than a mere man of business, which is why I must find him. Even if you do, what makes you think he will listen? Before giving chase, might it not be wise to speak with those who know him here in Amity? They may be able to shed some light on his reason for rejecting your overtures out of hand. Yes, I suppose that makes sense. Perhaps we should start with Tristal then. As I recall, you made a rather favorable impression on him. I'm certain he would be willing to talk to us. I reckon Yolmore could learn a thing or two from Amity about standing on its own 2 feet. And yeah, so could I. According to Master Chai, this Rendering fellow occupied a position of considerable influence in the Yolmoran leadership, which begs the question, why did he choose to leave? I realize it was me who suggested speaking with Tristal, but who's to say were you any more receptive than Rendon? Why should any of them give me the time of day? Bah, that's the way to think. Ignore me. Greetings, friend. And to you too, Master Chai. I presume you're here to ask about Rendon. Couldn't help overhearing your earlier exchange. Yes, well, with Valtry gone, Yolmore wants for a leader. Should no one rise to the challenge, the city could very well collapse. I came here seeking Rendering's counsel in the hope that we could build a bit of Yolmore together. And that is still my wish. Given how abominably you were mistreated there, I quite understand if you choose not to help. Worry not, Master Chai. I bear no grudge against you or the people of Yolmore, and I would not see you suffer for Valtry's villainy. As you no doubt gathered from your meeting earlier, Rendon could be rather uncompromising. He has his principles, you see, and little patience for anyone he deems less committed to their own. Your desire to right the wrongs of your past, of Yolmore's past, is quite admirable, but I fear the guilt you bear on the city's behalf works against you. You can see it in your eyes, in the way you carry yourself. It goes without saying he sees it as well. You must let those feelings go, Master Chai. Be more assertive, commit to this course, and prove to him Yolmore has the resolve to change. The resolve to change. I believe he was heading down towards Pit 8 when he left. We plan to go and speak with him. I suggest you be firm and clear in your intentions. Very well. To Pit 8 we shall go, and I will not take no for an answer. Nay, not even a maybe. Scree!
Well, it's you again. Well, I see you've invited your friends. Need them to fight your battles for you, do you?
No, I didn't invite them, as it happens, though they are indeed my friends. Well, not only mine, but every true Yolmoran's. They are the ones who awakened us to the truth, to Lord Vorthry's villainy. The famous warriors of darkness.
Are they now?
Yes, they are. It would be no exaggeration to call them our saviors. We owe much and more to their kindness, but we cannot depend on that kindness forever. To do so would be a little different from entrusting our affairs to Lord Vorthry. Nay, we must learn to stand on our own 2 feet. And I would have them present to witness my attempt.
Hear, hear, Master Chai.
Your sentiments are admirable. Yet admirable sentiments do not a nation make. In my capacity as advisor, I once strove to build a better Yulmore. Gave honest counsel to my superiors, drafted laws for the benefit of one and all. But in time, my values fell out of favor. There was no need for them in this paradise Vorthry was creating. And so I left my homeland behind. But you, Chai News, you were content to wallow in indolence under Vorthry's auspices. And so I cannot help but ask myself what manner of nation you intend to build.
I can offer no simple answer to that question. But this much I will say. It is my hope that Yulmore can become a nation which her citizens might freely choose to build together. A great many people, myself included, flocked to Yulmore seeking sanctuary. The alternative being to live in fear and die in pain. It seemed an easy choice. And sanctuary we found. As much food and drink as we could ever want. Secured at the cost of the surrounding villages. Little wonder the people gathered at our doorstep, begging to work among the bonded. The free were blind to it all, of course. Content to, as you say, wallow in indolence. In ignorance. Were I mayor, I would first take stock of the city's resources and see that they were assigned equitably. Our days of reckless consumption are behind us. The distinction between free and bonded died with Vorthry. The needs of rich and poor alike must be considered if our nation is to survive. To which end I would take steps to secure channels for supplies, rekindle relations with nearby settlements, who re-establish industry, reach out to neighboring nations, and the list goes on and on. But I am no ruler, nor even a politician. I am an entrepreneur. My expertise lie in planning and profit. I haven't the knowledge or experience to run a nation. Please, Rendon, will you not help me? Together, we could solve the city's problems. Build a Yulmore for the people.
A Yulmore for the people. I'd rather like the sound of that. But before I offer you my counsel, I would be certain of your ability to perform the duties of office.
You would?
You ask me to help you solve Yulmore's problems, but first I would see you solve one on your own. Accomplish that, and you will prove both to me and the people that you are a man worth following.
Alright. Test it shall be then. It remains to be seen if his words will translate into deeds, but I shall endeavor to keep an open mind. Imagine it. You're more than even a bloke like me could help to rebuild. People cannot be brought together on the strength of high ideals alone. This I know from painful experience. Rendon was right to demand proof of Master Chai's commitment. Oh, whoops, wrong person. Right then, is there a particular issue you would have me resolve? You seem to have conducted an assessment of problems Yulmore now faces. I assume you will agree, therefore, that the matter of dwindling food stores is the most pressing. Ah yes, meal being neither a desirable nor a sustainable option, I assume alternative foodstuffs are now required to fill the void. A man who hungers is not like to contribute much to society, save violence perhaps. So tell me, how do you propose to solve this problem? Give me a satisfactory answer, and I will consider offering you my counsel. Combination of measures would seem to be in order. One to address the immediate issue of supply, and another that of production. Go on. For the present, Yulmore's coffers can be used to purchase food from our neighbors, and would afford us time to address the underlying problem that affects us all, the long-standing neglect of agriculture. The villages that once served as sources of trade for foodstuffs must be repopulated, their means of production restored. This assumes, of course, that we can rekindle relations with our neighbors, guarantee security and stability in the region, and most importantly, find people willing to leave the city and take up the rebuilding effort. My. Think of that all by yourself, did you? Well, yes. It began as a rather abstract plan I drafted some time ago, after speaking with the peoples of Yulmore and the nearby settlements. You've impressed me, Master Chinos. I have? Well, that is a relief. Oh, you haven't secured my support just yet, only my attention. Grand plans will not be enough to persuade the masses. If you would ask them to rebuild, you must provide them the means to do so. A fair point, Rendon, and one I have given much thought. I propose the use of Talos to aid in the establishment and maintenance of these settlements. Their employment could drastically improve efficiency and ultimately increase production. Talos? But Daedalus Stoneworks closed their doors years ago. Without a ready supply of the necessary equipment, the people would starve before your plans could be put to effect. Well, as heir to Daedalus Stoneworks, it just so happens that Talos are my field of expertise. And with a little help, I'm quite certain we can acquire what we need in no time at all. You have a thought. Errand and Giza doesn't seem so bad. What was Master Chai worried about? He's got to give himself a bit more credit. Do you see it? There is a fire in Master Chai's eye that was not there when first we met. The fire we had best keep kindled if we wish to see Yulmor's change for the better. You had a hand in constructing that giant Talos to the north, did you not? When the Yulmoran volunteers began arriving, I hid myself away, lest I be recognized. Thus depriving myself of what I reliably informed was a once-in-a-lifetime spectacle. Bugger. Brendan is quite right. Quite right. Blah. Building Talos from scratch will require time we simply do not have. Which is why I propose to make use of the long-abandoned Talos which wander the wilds of Calusia. They will need to be deactivated, of course, and if memory serves, the tools required to do so should still be at top rung. Come with me. And we're gonna grab those, huh? Oops. So he is an authority of Talos, is he? What other surprises could he be hiding, I wonder? How'd you catch a Talos then? Dig a hole and lure it in? It is one thing to repair an immobile Talos, as Urianger did, but quite another to catch one, surely. Does this not sound a trifle dangerous? Aha! Your memory hasn't let me down. This chest contains canisters filled with a dastardly potent insulating powder capable of halting the flow of ether to Talos. We need only get within throwing distance of one and let fly. Thus destabilizing them without damaging them. Ingenious. An old trick of the trade, nothing more. Once disabled, it should be a simple enough matter to get them to march to Yulmor. More extensive repairs can wait. Ordinarily, this is where I would ask you to run along and do the deed, but as I said before, it's high time we learn to stand on our own 2 feet. Thankfully, throwing canisters is something even I should be able to manage. Come off it, Master Chai! Even if the Talos ain't a threat, there's 101 other things out there waiting to make a meal out of you. That's as may be, Kaishia, but Rendon tasked me with solving the problem, and I will not sit idly by while others risk everything to see my harebrained schemes realized. Not this time. Which isn't to say the mere thought of it doesn't fill me with dread. Truth be told, I can't feel my legs. But if I am to prove I'm a man worth following, I must lead by example. Well said, Master Chai. Hear, hear, buddy. Yes, well, it should go without saying that I have no intention of dying for this. I always preferred living to see the fruits of my labors. And to make sure I do, I will require your help. And as Kaishia says, these lands are dangerous if one is not careful. I want to ask you to use my spyglass to look out for any beasts that could get in the way of my work. I would also need you to alert me when it is safe to subdue the Talos. Understood? Good. And let's be off to the quick way, through the north gate, and see if we can't find a suitable vantage point for you. Sorry. When first he arrived, I could barely hear him over the knocking of his knees. And now this. I'm not sure what's gotten into him, but whatever it is, I like it. There's little point in us both shouting instructions. Keep him safe, Lucas. Alright, nothing to worry about. Just a simple matter of sneaking up on the Talos while avoiding the slavering, bloodthirsty beast. lurking behind every rock. Child's play. When you're ready, let us begin. Either Master Chai's off is not, or this means more to him than he's been letting on. Oh, I gotta click on him. I did it. I did it! Let's move on to another Talos, shall we? It's two. I do believe I'm getting the hang of this. We leave the next one to me, Lucas. Oh, hey, a shooting star. And 3. Haha, that should do it. Now we have all we need to proceed. Three Talos. Let's see, my misjudged, Master Chai. May I be hope for you more. Our friend returned with nary a scratch. Well done. Blimey, thought my heart was going to stop for a moment there. Make that a couple of moments. I can scarcely believe it. It was a reckless, foolish plan, but somehow it worked. I did it. Master Chai, I believe I owe you an apology. Your plan to replenish Ulmo's food store showed forethought and sound judgment. What's more, it is plain your time at Daedalus Stoneworks has equipped you to lead, as evidenced by the extraordinary company you keep. You, sir, are more than qualified to be the next mayor of Ulmo. I thank you for your vote of confidence, but the fact remains I am wholly ignorant of the world of politics, which is why I would ask you to join me and grant Ulmo the benefit of your counsel. I would be honored. When the people behold these Talos, I have no doubt they will lend you their support. It would seem Ulmo's leadership is out of lost and capable hands. Would you not agree? Should probably be getting back soon, Master Chai. After you've tinkered with the Talos and all that. Lady Chai's worried sick. What are you gonna do? Jump on a Talos and ride him down?
Right. Right then. Form a line and make for Yulmore.
What's that noise? Wicked White! Runaway Talos! Call the guard!
To have that guy go get the guard while the other two just stand there.
Stay back! All of you!
Is that... Darling, you're back.
But of course I'm back. You didn't see.
Dearest, I can't.
And he's dead.
Oh, oh dear.
And he's dead.
Oh, thank you.
I'm sorry, my darling. It's just the sight of you filled me with such joy, I couldn't help myself.
Oh, no, it's all right, dear. I should have just come out and said what it was I was intending instead of entrusting the task to a hastily scribbled letter.
Does that mean you'll do it?
Well, I'm here, aren't I? I mean, not that my absence signified any unwillingness, you understand? Oh, no, naught could be further from the truth. I only left to enlist the aid of the former mayor's senior advisor. And now that I have it, I believe I am ready to take office.
Oh, how wonderful!
Dearest, please.
You ever seen a man die twice in within 5 minutes? I dare say the future of Yulmore has never looked brighter. Sorry, I wasn't much help. Still, seeing Master Chai go about to those Talos or something, eh? Inspiring stuff. Well, thank you again for finding my husband. I confess I was not expecting your return to be quite so grand. Dear sweet man, he's going to make me the most wonderful. He's going to make the most wonderful mayor. I just know it. I'm fine. I just need a moment. That was quite a reception. One Master Child will struggle to forget. Well, seriously, the arrival of the Talus has seized the public's attention. Once word is spread around Yulmore, it will be much simpler to gather one and all so that Master Chai can make his inaugural address. No need to fret, Linkus. I've never felt better. and not at all overawed by the prospect of addressing the assembled masses of Yulmore. As for where to do it, if we were to accommodate everyone who might feasibly wish to attend, I suppose the only place large enough would be the Emergent. And I will go and spread the word among the citizens, both free and bonded, that they are to assemble there to meet their new mayor. You there, Cashier, was it? Would you go and inform the residents of Gatetown and the derelicts? Of course I will. Good lad. I'll let the guards know not to bar the way to Valthry's chambers. It goes without saying that I might expect the Warrior of Darkness to attend, assuming he's available. Might as well see it through to the bitter end, eh? A doorman at the Crown Lift will show you up. I thought that was Rendon. I don't look at text boxes. I really should look at text boxes to see. Yes, Master Chai told us to expect you. Your merchant is already filling up with people of all persuasions, free and bonded, citizens and non-citizens. For you, our guest of honor, we have reserved a place at the front. Right this way, sir.
Go on, dear.
Thank you all for gathering here today. But before going any further, could I ask the free citizens of Yulmore to look around? Tis a sight none of us would ever have seen under Lord Valthry's rule. Not only do we stand in the familiar presence of those we once called the Bonded, but today we welcome the peoples of the Derelicts and Gatetown too. Today we welcome the Warriors of Darkness, come to bear witness to Yulmore's new beginning. As you know, an election was recently held, at the end of which I had the honor of being chosen to succeed Lord Valthry. You place great faith in me, and I promise to do my utmost to live up to your expectations, and I will seek always to carry out the duties of this office with integrity and fairness. Always, I say, but not forever. Let it be known that I do not intend to hold this post indefinitely. I consider myself but an acting mayor, who will serve only for the interim, while Yulmore is reshaped according to a new set of values. No longer can we think of ourselves as divided, as the free and the bonded, citizens and non-citizens. The systems put in place by Lord Vorthry must be undone. But even as we tear down the old, we must give thought to the new, to what manner of nation Yulmore should become. Whatever the answer may be, it cannot be decided by one man alone. And so I propose that an open forum be held, that we might all discuss how best to strive towards a better future. However, there can be no talk of the morrow unless we first address the issues of today. Securing new sources of food, rebuilding relations with our neighbors, re-establishing industry. There is much and more that needs to be done. Too much for a mere man of business. And so I pledge instead to do everything in my power to ensure our city's security and stability while we all work together to see these problems solved. The road before us will not be easy, and I know full well how daunting the prospect of honest labor may seem to some of you. But we must accept the reality of our circumstances. We must move forward. This much we owe to ourselves and to the brave heroes who risked their lives to bring back the night. Once we have shored up our city's foundations and regained some semblance of normality, let us reconvene to speak of the future. Until then, I humbly ask that you lend me and each other your strength. For Yulmore!
The city of final pleasures, they used to call this place, back when the world was ending. But now I hope it will become the city of new endeavors. Wasn't he simply wonderful? Seeing him take charge of the room as he did, oh, it reminds me why I fell for him in the first place. Now our work can begin in earnest. I very much look forward to seeing this Yulmore for the people. Seeing everyone come together like that, it was beautiful, that was. That was a fine speech, Master Chai. I believe your words stirred every soul in attendance. Stirred them to action, I hope. If I've learned anything from all of this, it is that change begins with the individual. It's but a matter of finding the strength and take the first step. Assuming my fellow Yulmorans can, it shall be my honor and privilege to help them walk this road we have chosen. But we must not forget the individuals who made all the changes possible. Were it within my power, I would carve a tribute to your heroism into the very stone upon which this city stands. I hate to change the subject, darling, but now that you have officially taken office, have you given any thought to your mayoral seat? We will not be moving into the Emergent, dearest. It's too big for one thing, too far from the people for another. We will retain our current residence, and I will govern here in the parlor. Oh, I was hoping you'd say that. I much prefer the view from the parlor. Begging your pardon, Master Chai, but have you got time for a word? Ah, yes, of course. Hathen Bet? Ah, that's me. I like your speech. There's folk outside these walls that don't even have enough food to last till tomorrow, and more who are counting their crumbs. If you've a plan to change that, I want to help set things in motion. And we've much to discuss. No sooner do I take office than my work begins in earnest. Well, I suppose I brought it upon myself. Thank you again for your help, Linkus. I hope to see you again before long. What a day. I don't know what it means exactly, but I do know I've got plenty to think about. I sense we all have a great deal to consider. I had resolved to remain here until such a time as Yormor's future was secured, but it's clear to me now that the city is in capable hands. I have every confidence they will find their way, and I believe it is time we went on ours. With Master Chai at the helm, if only for the interim, I feel I can bid farewell to Yormor and return to the source with no regrets. Salfino's leaving too, is he? It's like everyone's moving on. Everything's changing. I've been thinking about what I should do in all this. Like I told you, I spent most of my life dreaming about living here with my friends in paradise. Well, paradise is gone, but something's better taking its place, and I reckon I want to be a part of it. This Yormor for the people Master Chai has been going on about ain't gonna build itself after all. Not that I'm much of a builder. Me and my friends will find a way to make a difference, so I'll keep things changing for the better. A far nobler dream than the one which you clung before, and one I am happy to say we share. Whatever path you choose, I will pray for your success. Well, when you put it like that, there's no going back there, is it? We've got a few ideas on how we can do our bit. It's just a matter of taking the first step. Truly, to see Kai Shia thus inspired by our actions is inspiring in itself. Yet however much I may wish to stay and see what comes of his efforts here in Yormor, we have matters of our own to attend to. Come, we shall return to the Crystal Tower. Maybe Big-Look studies have borne fruit in our absence. Elspeth? Aren't you supposed to be dead? Where'd you get rest? I forget. It would seem Alize has yet to return from the end of Journey's Head. I do hope she doesn't overtire herself. I take it you are ready to resume our work? Welcome back. We are given to understand a new mayor has taken office in Yulmore. Indeed. A good friend, Master Chai, was elected by popular vote and, after some considerable soul-searching, chose to accept the post. It is a shame you weren't able to attend his inaugural speech, though I have no doubt you will see more of him in the future. But tell me, how fared you in preparing the White Aura site? Our work did not proceed quite as expected. In your absence, we had a frank discussion on the principles of soul transference and concluded at length that White Aura site was ill-suited for our purposes. But Urianger, did you not say that, compared to the massy soul of an Ascian, the stone could house one of ours with ease? That I did. And armed as we were with big lugs and valuable insight, 'twould indeed prove a trifling matter were we to disregard the involatile link twixt mind and soul. A link which would, as we belatedly realize, be weakened most perilously in the process of rendering our souls dormant, as our sight doth require. Thus, the shedding of these fleshy simulacra, and the surfeit of ether which compriseth them, would in all likelihood deprive us of our psyches as well. It would theoretically be possible to channel your minds into the aura site instead, but we would more than likely sacrifice your souls in the process. Which is why we have abandoned that plan, and instead devoted our time to finding a means by which mind and soul might be transported together. We are no closer to a solution when we first began. It is a vexing conundrum indeed, but one for which the Crystal Exarch has posited a most intriguing solution. When our discussions turned to transfers of memories in the psyche, I could not help but be reminded of a technique with which I have personal experience. Linkus, do you recall what we learned of my eyes from our encounter with Doga and Une? I speak of the royal eye of the Allagan imperial line, gifted to my forebears through the blood and memories of the ancient Allagans. It is by this gift that I am able to control the Crystal Tower. If we were to gain an understanding of the technology by which the Allagans were able to accomplish this transference, perhaps then we could keep in mind and soul together. Imagine, if you will, a device like unto a soul crystal, replete not only with our worldly memories, but also the bountiful energies of the soul. This is our current avenue of investigation, and we will follow it wheresoever it leads. While we are thus engaged, I think it best that Linkus return to the source and inform Cryo and the other of our findings. Agreed. I imagine Tataru will be relieved to hear we've made progress of a sort. And I would beg leave to relay our findings unto Thancred Inreen, and to assist where I may in their investigation of the empty. Yes, please do. Should we have need of your counsel, we will not hesitate to summon you. Give our regards to Tataru, won't you? Probably should be reading these, but nothing that important. Stola wanting a cup of tea. Lucas, you're back! How did everything go in the first? Wait, don't tell me. Aquaria will be here shortly, and she'll want to hear it too. She's just tending to the others. Their bodies, I mean. Gods, I don't think I'll ever get used to saying that. Anyway, you can tell us everything the moment she gets here. Several cutscenes will play in sequence, you say? Alright.
Sorry to keep you waiting. I've carried out the treatment as per Master Matoya's instructions. It should slow the destabilization of their corporeal ether quite significantly. But tell me, how fare our friends in the first?
Well, we think we may be on the path to figuring out how to get them here, both body and, well, soul and mind.
So this Becklug's the first to lead an authority on soulcraft, are they? Sounds promising.
And Urianger's proffered solution of white auracite is rather ingenious now that I think of it. Well, while they press on with their preparations, you may rest assured we will continue to do our part here.
Oh, you're back.
Hello, Estidian.
And none the worse for wear, I see.
Estinian! Oh, thank the gods! We've been worried sick. Did you lose your link pearl or something?
The situation in Garlemald has become more complicated. I was making my escape from the capital when I ran into one of yours, Riol. He thought it best we come straight here.
More complicated how?
Where to begin? After entering the Empire via Razat Han, I went about my mission of investigating Black Rose. It was then, inside a provincial factory, that I encountered the one who styles himself Shadow Hunter, Gaius Baelsar. Our goals being apparently aligned, we joined forces and ventured on into the heart of the capital, to the very Imperial Palace itself. There, we found a man whom all assumed dead. But his soul lives on, and he has wrested back his flesh. Xenos Ye Galvas. Nor did the surprises end there. For no sooner had we arrived than he murdered his sire in cold blood. The Emperor is dead. This sent Gaius into a rage, and he charged in, blade drawn. What's wrong?
Oh, we about to experience this firsthand, is what's wrong. I've seen him in action. His body, at least. You will not best him alone. Nay, death will not come so easily to that thing. If you would join me, bid them by all means. For what good it would do. The Black Wolf and the Azure Dragoon. I suppose this might suffice. Come then. Ah, the simple pleasures of unknown flesh. Truly there is no place like home. Abomination. Whatever he is, Linkus was barely a match for him if we stay here much longer. Emperor Varys, your radiance, are you alright? We may wear out our welcome. Your radiance! No! Must even the most middling of sport be soiled? Well, conspires to bore me. But I have no cause to remain. I leave these vermin to you. Xenos! Well, any bright ideas? Just one. Idiots! The intruders have taken flight. I repeat, the intruders have taken flight. Deploy all available magic tech armor. We cannot let them escape. I'm glad it gives me the option. Because I forgot I put it on very easy for all the trials. Alert! Alert! Intruders detected at Imperial Way. We must force our way through. Seems there is no turning back. We must force our way through. Black Wolf is among the intruders. Deploy Magitech armor. Oops. There they are. Stop them. Good. Come over here. Let's keep moving. There's no end to them. You won't escape, guys, Bellsaw. You'll pay for your crimes, traitor. I was wondering when the Imperial Guard would appear. Focus on the Magitech armor first. I need on my mark. I think not. Damn it. This way, quickly. We make ourselves easy marks by moving together. I suggest we split up. Alright then, I'll take the load, so to speak. I will see you outside. Stay safe. Well, Lamon's been busy. And you would bar my way, would you? So be it. Come, Nidhogg, lend me your strength. What's with the naked dude? Seems we've been afforded an impromptu field test. Ready all battle data. Begin test sequence 2.0. We have Alamorn. We have a dot. Nearby enemies as well as like affected. Star Diver. And then Limit Break. Initiating synthetic RSI systems. All systems now fully functional. We haven't much time. I said ready to battle data, damn you! Now loading data sample 14. You would bar my way then you will feel the fury of Nidhogg. Not working. Ready another sample. The one taken from Cache Mabana. Now loading data sample 12. Data. Increase generator output to maximum. Activate the Magitech field. Full power. It works! It works! Arch Ultima is unstoppable! Unstoppable? Shall see about that. Nidhogg, show them your fury!
Taste my lungs!
Guardians in their Machina. Now, where are you, Gaius? Oh yeah, Cryle saw it too.
Are you all right?
Peer into my past, did you?
Yeah, I saw the whole thing. I wish I had a
Well, I didn't quite relive the experience as you did, but I bore witness to it all.
I'm jealous of you. You get to have Stardiver on a 6-second cooldown, sir.
I'm still not sure what I think of this gift of yours. But no matter. Our confrontation was cut short when the Imperial Guard arrived. It was then that Xenos took his leave, citing boredom.
To think their research into the Echo could bear such fruit. Escaping death, jumping from one body to the next, and returning to his own after all this time. He is an Ascian in all but name.
It beggars belief, aye. But no more than a hero traversing the rift between worlds. My concerns are far more prosaic. With the Emperor dead and the Crown Prince missing, the Empire is in disarray. Until order is restored, assuming it even possible, we needn't fear an Imperial reprisal. And for reasons of his own, Xenos took it upon himself to rid the world of Black Rose. Riol has already gone to apprise the Alliance leaders of these developments. We may leave the matter in their hands for now.
Then perhaps we have seen the last of the fighting at Gimlet. Though, if it comes to civil war, I cannot help but fear for the provinces. Ah, I'd nearly forgotten to ask. What became of Gaius? Did he not escape with you?
That he did, but we parted ways shortly after leaving Garlemald. He claimed another threat had arisen which demanded his attention. He didn't elaborate, but the absence of some device or other in the capital gave him reason to believe they're planning something. Lest you worry, I believe he has well and truly shed the Black Wolf's pelt. Conquest is no longer his objective. We may safely leave him to his own devices.
Well, it's nice to have one less foe to worry about, even if we do have a mysterious new threat to look out for instead. Speaking of which, I'll see that Riel and our shinobi are made aware. Though we still know next to nothing, it can't hurt to be vigilant.
Well then, with Black Rose nipped in the bud, I believe I've fulfilled my part of the bargain.
That's true, but with the Archon still slumbering away, we were hoping you might agree to stay with us for a little bit longer.
Yeah, let him go. He's done his duty.
Sorry, but I'm not inclined to extend my contract. Gaius isn't the only one with business to attend to.
Thank you for your help then, Estinian. I see why Alphino admires you so.
Farewell, my friend. See that you don't make a habit of dozing off in battle.
Yeah, I will.
I suppose we should all be getting on then. As ever, we will see to the Archon's needs. In the meantime, why not get some rest? You've more than earned it. Go on.
Though they have yet to find a workable solution, Ystola and the others are making progress, and we cannot ask for more than that. You must be shattered after all that hopping back and forth between worlds. Why not stay here and rest for a while? I'm sure Begler can manage without you. They've got the scions to help them if you ask. They've got enough scions to help them if you ask me. Meanwhile, in Garlemald, traitors! You would dare deny Lord Nerva the throne? Well, he's dead. Onward! Before this day is done, victory shall be ours! Boring, boring, boring. Do you think I find it amusing? Like dogs herding cattle to the slaughterhouse. At Hugh, your soul is. Who are you? Before your majesty, I am but another dog, lost in want of a new master. A hunting dog, if you should wish it so. For I know full well the prey you would seek next. Zodiac. Meanwhile, in Yulmore, in the first, we had 2 meanwhiles. Did you hear? The mayor's reopening Dale Stoneworks and they're looking for laborers. There's talk of resettling some of the old abandoned villages too. They're even laying on free talos to help anyone willing to make the move. Free talos? Ha! We'd best get packing. Steady work, board, and lodging. If that's not a recipe for hope, I don't know what is. Hope. Yes, so long as I yet live, I would see that feeble flame rekindled. It is my destiny to see our dream fulfilled. .1 complete. And we shall save 5.2 for hopefully tomorrow. As I hopefully should feel better after probably eating far too much food before stream, which was a terrible idea. So apologies for the low amount of energy I exhibited, especially in the first half of the stream. I think the second half was a bit better. Anyways, that'll do it for me for the night. Hope you folks enjoyed your stay. Got to rekindle some old memories or what have you. Even though... But I don't know where I was going with that, so I'm just going to stop. Anybody on playing right now that I follow? Or are you all during... most of y'all are doing New World, as I figured. Let us find someone. Yeah, what? Yeah, I don't know. Let's see if anybody's... If I scroll through for like 10 seconds and I find nothing but Savage Prague, then oh, this person's almost done with Shadowbringers, and they're on the second lore bomb, which Urianger reveal. Well, you get revealed Exarch and Urianger's okay. One Emmy Millie, you're gonna get raided. Folks, thank you so much for hanging out tonight, whether it be here, lurking, watching YouTube, watching the VOD. It really means a lot to me, and it helps a lot more than you think it does.